Welcome back to the news at 10. Despite the assurance given by the INEC chairman, Professor Tahiru Jega, about the readiness of the Commission for the forthcoming general elections, it appears there are more concerns about elections for the polls. Today in Lagos, a group who call themselves the Non-Indigenes say there are fears that they may be disenfranchised as they claim they're being denied their voter cards. Our big story tonight, our political correspondent Sheun Okinbaloye looks at these issues and the situations in Ogun State and Cross River State, all pointing to the need for the umpire to brace up.
One after the other, they gather. As they prepare, this perhaps gives an idea of what they are up to. Security operatives too brace up for the task ahead. And when they gain momentum, they march.
Come tomorrow. All we are saying, give us our PVC.
Chanting and bearing placards with inscriptions of what perhaps is on their minds. Through the busy Ikorodu Road on Lagos mainland, they all march to the INEC head office at the Yaba. Lagos Non-Indigenes, they call themselves. Some of those who live around here look on, trying to get a sense of what exactly is going on. Soon, the protesters arrive at the INEC office, and the reasons for their protest they lay down at the feet of the resident electoral commissioner.
All the old non-Indigenous cards in Nigeria has been bought. So, sir, please, sir, we need a good office to assist us. We need our PVC. We want to vote. We don't know what is happening. Non-Indigenous are not sitting there. PVC. When they look into the name and see Okafor, they see one more, Emeka, they will throw it away.
In a closer interaction with the rec, he tells us what the umpire hopes to do to allay the fears of the non-Indigenes.
Even as we speak, we are still expecting some permanent voters' cards here in Lagos. As soon as they arrive, we'll be able to reach out to them so they can collect the cards. There's no deliberate intention on the part of INEC officials, whether within the state office or the local government offices, to sideline or to marginalize or to deny the right of collection of any individual who has registered in Lagos. But if there are issues, we are going to sort them out individually.
The concern about the issue of PVC is definitely not limited to Lagos State, although people may have taken to the streets here in nearby Ogun State. The governor, Senator Ibikunle Amosun, takes to the INEC office. His discovery for him is nothing pleasant at all.
They should not be bringing Ogun State card in batches. 30-something today, 40-something tomorrow, 60-something day after. And other states, they're just giving them in one bulk figure. So please, we are appealing to them. They should bring our cards in Ogun State. And those alien card that they brought to Ogun State, they should take it back and bring our own cards. So if they bring our cards, of course, with what they are doing now, maybe at best we'll have about maybe 1 million out of about 1.9 or 1.8. So which means 800,000 cleverly must have been removed from exercising their franchise.
If you think the situation in Ogun State is worrisome, the case in Cross River, South Nigeria may be said to be intriguing. Permanent voter cards meant for Cross River voters are found in faraway Kebbi State in Nigeria's northwest region, more than 10 hours away by road trip. The PVCs arrive in Calabar, and now hopes of the rightful owners of these cards are brightened.
We here in Cross River State received about 379 cards that belong to Imo State, which we have returned. I think one for Borno and 2 in Edo State. So this is not really like issue pertinent to Cross River alone.
On Wednesday, 18th of February, INEC Chairman Professor Atahiru Jega appeared before the Senate as he defended the readiness of the Commission.
There are about 800 to 1 million cards yet to be produced.
With over 75% cards distributed and the different concerns raised, Nigerians will need just more than words to show clearly that March 28th and April 11th dates are genuinely and practically real. And that assurances may not only come from INEC, but also from security agencies, considering the 6 weeks window they require to put their house in order. For the big story, Sheung Okimbaloye reporting for Channels Television News.
First Bank. You first.
Thanks for staying with us for Business News on the News at 10. I'm Gimba Umar. Now, the Securities and Exchange Commission and the Central Bank of Nigeria have announced plans to jointly revive the capital market and the Nigerian economy in general. Well, this is coming on the heels of the decline in the price of crude oil in the international market and the continued downward slide of the exchange rate of the naira and the need to seek other avenues for funding the economy. This was part of the outcome of a meeting between the Deputy Governor of the CBN, Dr. Oku Joseph Nana, and the management of the SEC, led by the Acting Director General, Munir Gwarzo in Abuja. Gwarzo described the collaborations as timely, especially given the difficulties being experienced in the economy at the moment, and hoped that both regulators would work towards the goal and resolve current issues. The House of Representatives has asked the presidency to tender before it the full report of the forensic audit conducted by the PricewaterhouseCoopers House on the alleged missing $20 billion from the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation, the NNPC. This is following a motion raised by Femi Gbajabiamila, saying that more than 8 months after the federal government engaged the international audit firm and over 2 weeks after formal presentation of the forensic reports, the federal government is yet to make the findings known. This minority leader of the House said that such a matter has generated so much public outcry and ought not to be swept under the carpet, saying that tendering the report before the House will allow the situation be put in proper perspective.
The audit report was formally presented to the President by the audit firm PricewaterhouseCoopers. But up till now, neither the general public nor the National Assembly has been briefed in detail with regard to the contents of the audit report. For the purpose of accountability and in compliance with the Freedom of Information Act, the federal government should, as a matter of urgency and in the interest of the general public, make the full report available to this House immediately.
All analysts reacting to the closure of the retail and wholesale Dutch auction system forex window of the Central Bank of Nigeria have described the regulatory decision as reactionary. A financial market expert, Chukwuma Anyanwu, says that limiting the foreign exchange to the interbank market will only reveal the absolute value of the naira.
If we're going to be then dependent on interbank rates, then we're then looking at naira trading closer to 200 than what we have with the Dutch auction, retail and wholesale Dutch auction system. So yeah, it gives us a more realistic viewpoint as to where the naira is actually on the streets, or based on demand and supply, where the naira should be trading. I think the big picture is to try and diversify the economy so that we do not have to react, to put policies to react to a slide in the naira against the dollar. If the best, most effective way to combat a further decline in the naira against the dollar is to try and earn more in foreign exchange, diversify our options of export, make us export-based and not import-based. That way we are not reacting, because closing the Dutch auction, the RDAS and the WDAS windows is just another reactive policy by the CBN. I would have thought by now we should be working on something that is preemptive.
Well, the Nigerian equities market sustained a positive momentum for a fourth straight day, even as investors booked profit off some market heavyweights. Emana Ambrose MRA reports that the all-share index now stands at 29,282.04.
Hello and welcome to the Stock Markets Report. The positive rally continued for a fourth trading session at the Nigerian equities market on a muted note as investors booked profit off some market heavyweights. Up 0.36%, the all-share closed at 29,282.04 with a higher market capitalization of 9.77 trillion naira. At the end of the session, 25 equities appreciated in price, led by Nestle, which added 28 naira 82 kobo to its price share. It is followed by Seplat and Forte Oil PLC. Julius Berger, Dangote Cement and Guinness Nigeria PLC were the top three prize losers for the day, leading 8 other laggards for the day. Computer Warehouse Group was the top volume driver for the day, with over 147.41 million shares churned out by investors. When stocks crossed the finish line, volume and value increased to 564.27 million shares and 6.08 billion naira, respectively, exchanged in 4,385 deals. That's it on the Stock Markets Report. I'm Emana Ambrose Amawe.
Well, let's tell you about the crude oil prices now. After a 3-day rally, the Brent crude oil price slipped below $59 a barrel after another big weekly build in the U.S. crude inventories and a possible rise in Saudi output stoked worries about oversupplies. Brent crude dropped $2.31 to $58.22 a barrel, extending declines from Tuesday's 2-month high of $63. U.S. crude dropped $2.59 to $49.55 a barrel after dipping to as low as $49.73 a barrel. Now, the hopes that Greece may be moving towards a deal has been thrown into doubt once again, as Germany has rejected a request by the country for a 6-month extension to its Eurozone loan program. The rejection comes despite the European Commission calling the Greek request positive. Greece has sought a new 6-month assistance package rather than a renewal of the existing deal that comes with tough austerity conditions. The German Finance Ministry spokesman said that the Greece request was an attempt at bridge financing without meeting the requirements of the program. And that's how it's been on the news at this time. Amarachi will be back with more stories. For now, we'll leave you with the global markets.
First Bank. You first.
Still ahead of the news at 10, former Portugal international Luís Figo proposes a 48-team World Cup format if he wins the 2015 FIFA presidential elections. We have details in sports news. Please join us again.